turn my game audio down, like, by half. And if that's a problem, too, just let me know. It's not hard to change it. Time starts when I select the first area. These are all the areas of the game, and this Names of God thing is, like, the game's true ending, quote-unquote. It's very weird and inherently not that speedrunnable. It's kind of an auto-scroller. I've thought about, like, offering that as an incentive at marathons and whatever, but I don't think it would really work as one. Anyway, 3, 2, 1, go.
ICEY has left the laboratory. She understands that as long as she...
So ICEY is this cyborg thing? I'm not sure exactly what she is, but her mission is to destroy the evil Judas, as set out by the narrator. And you can see what I'm talking about with this being a very stylish side-scrolling hack and slasher. This move right here is called Deadly Disc. You would ordinarily not have it at this point in the game. It's one of the more expensive unlocks, and with good reason. It severely trivializes the combat. Oh, I thought I had to do that there. Oh, I did have to do that there. There's one more little guy over here. Deadly Disc sacrifices some of your HP to do that spinning move, but it's barely even a sacrifice. You're healed constantly, even as a result of Deadly Disc in some cases, because you can also do this Death Blow move, this B move, which heals you, restores your shield, and releases these crystals that let you do an AoE move if you charge them. But you have to release the charge before getting hit for them to have any effect at all, so you can't just blindly charge it. You have to make sure it goes off.
In front of ICEY. She must carefully jump across.
And you'll notice I'm dashing in midair. This is certainly the fastest way to move. You can also dash on the ground, but you can see it's not that fast.
Right.
So we go into the sewer. We could skip this area. This area is optional.
It seems like this,
but we're doing all bosses. And we're just shredding through the things. And our AoE. There's some screens where combat is skippable. This is one of them. But not that many.
Into a giant cavern.
Yeah, honestly, the true charm of this game is in the various alternate endings you'll find by going against what the narrator says. We do almost everything the narrator tells us to in this run. You know, we're supposed to, well, not supposed to, but originally, you know, in your first playthrough, you would go straight forward there because you can't reach the area I just got. There is a mini-boss in the area straight ahead as opposed to going up like we did. The mini-boss affords an enhanced jumping ability, or enhanced dashing ability, really. You can do this in midair more times before having to land. That there's a merchant, don't need him. We've unlocked everything. Yeah, you may notice that I was healed to full upon entering Gorger's boss arena. So the whole thing about Deadly Disc costing HP is really not a big deal at all. You just don't want to just not get nommed by this guy. That's the only thing you have to worry about. He has 2 health bars. Every boss has 2 except for the last boss, who has 5, and the second to last boss has only 1. So that's Gorger.
ICEY defeats Gorger and senses ICEY arrives at an unnamed town. ICEY searches around the house for a trace.
Yeah, I just love this movement. Apparently the dash ability used to be even more OP than it is. There's comments on the speedrun.com forum for this game about, oh, they nerfed the dash. I'm not that interested anymore. You know, I guess I'm kind of glad I wasn't playing this game when it first came out, because I think the dash is pretty OP as it is. Here's Thor. This guy will become a regular enemy later in the game. Yeah, the only... Oh, I thought I had to deadly disc him 3 times to get his first HP bar, but it was only 2. The only thing you have to avoid with Thor is his hammer, his AoE attack. If his hammer hits the ground, it creates a large area on the ground where you'll take damage, much further than just the hitbox for the hammer.
ICEY defeats Thor, the gates to Ultimopolis slide open.
Yeah. Yeah, in the any % run, we would not come to Thor because you can get through the gates to Ultimopolis before they close. The narrator doesn't think you can, but you can. I was talking about this game's true ending, quote-unquote. It's kind of... You would, I guess, say that the narrator is the actual final antagonist for the game.
ICEY follows the arrow, getting closer to the main gates of Ultimopolis. What ICEY must remember is that she must always follow the arrow.
Yeah, you may notice in the top left corner of the screen, my character is named ICEY rather than ICEY. That is part of one of the many sidetracks you have to take to unlock the game's true ending. And if you perform the true ending, that's replaced by your Steam name. You know, I won't say any more than that at risk of spoilers. Because there's so many little nooks and crannies that this game has to... it's just like Stanley Parable in that way. The narrator is not quite as good a voice actor, but it is just like Stanley Parable in that way. You can, throughout the game, either obey him or defy him and unlock various different content and scenarios. Here's Puck. Big mechanical spider. He'll have little mechanical spiders into the arena with him. Okay, that was a little annoying. He jumped away when he was 1 hit away from his first HP bar being gone. And he did it again. Good grief. And thankfully, killing the boss makes all of the small spiders just explode into nice 4th of July fireworks.
Oh? A dead end? That's not right. There shouldn't be a dead end here. There should be
This game was actually... The original narration language was actually Chinese. This game was made by a Chinese studio. There are now 3 languages in the game: Chinese, English, and Japanese.
ICEY continues to look deeper into the tunnels.
Yeah, apparently the dash used to be... Oh, come on. Used to be infinite even while in combat. It's infinite out of combat on the current patch, but in combat, you're limited. See how I fell there. Also, I want to go this way.
ICEY follows the arrow. She knows that
Yeah, there's...
she will find
My favorite of the
soon.
Easter eggs is that tube below the arrows there on the last screen. It takes several tries to enter it, and once you do, you are taken to a demo for an entirely different game. A precision platformer called Shio, made perhaps not coincidentally by another Chinese studio. Probably friends of the people who made this game. And I'm running a little bit low on HP now. There we go. Yeah, this looks like Monka SHP, but... Oh, actually, it is Monka SHP. I'll be alright. Because the Death Blow move heals you a little, too. And then you can do that. And that lets me do Deadly Disc some more. And basically, the routing for the categories that don't start with all the upgrades is just how do we get Deadly Disc as fast as possible. There's 3 upgrade levels for everything. Yeah, here's why I thought I was going to be alright. Coming to Carlos's arena... heals me fully. This guy's sort of like Gorger. You want to avoid getting nommed, but he does have other attacks. Icy cool. You know it. Yeah, if I was behind him there, I would have charged the crystals a little bit more, but that's still an okay fight.
Another challenge defeated.
And we have a loading
ICEY
screen.
enters a metro car in total disrepair, but it seems like it could still be operated. The metro begins to move, and ICEY is hurled towards her destiny, awaiting at the clock tower.
Yep, we're just riding a train for about 45 seconds. Fun times, I know.
ICEY leaves the metro. Following, ICEY ignores the arrow.
Yeah, the narrator wanted us to follow the arrow, but we're going to the Marionette Theater instead. He doesn't mind when we defy him here because there's tons of stuff to find here. We will sadly do basically none of it. We're just headed straight to the boss in this area, Jack. Who some people say this is their hardest boss in, say, a casual playthrough, first playthrough. And I mean, he's not... There's basically only one boss in this game that's able to kill you in a speedrun. It's not this one, but I can see why in a first playthrough that Jack would be kind of scary. Don't grab me. I want to be able to just dash up here and make my way through that, but fortunately that's not possible. There is another elevator like this in the next area where you exit to the left, where you can exit a little early. It's one of the only quote-unquote skips that this game has. You know, this game is not at all about glitch tech. It's about movement and fights and just fast-paced style. Now, that wasn't such a great fight, but as you can see, I didn't come close to death at all.
With ICEY's defeat of Jack, she can rest easy as she pursues.
Isn't that a freaky-looking guy in the background?
Yes. Follow my words. Go left.
And this here will actually give an indication of what happens quite a bit in the in a normal playthrough of this game. You're taken back to this laboratory area quite a few times as you encounter the alternate scenarios that happen because you defy the narrator. There's 3 yellow kings. 1, 2, and no, go too far. 3. And then you get this alternate ending with text being typed on the screen. There are, I'd say, about a dozen of these in the game. By the rules of NT Plus, we can only go back to areas we've reached during this run, so we have to go to Crossroads. Even though the next area is not far after this.
Following the arrow to Judas's
It's right here, actually.
hideout.
Here's Thor. I told you he'd become a regular enemy. Also a black armored version of Thor. This fight is not going well. Yeah, they each require 2 death blows to kill. I just barely got that one off in time. Because he still hit me. That was not good, but I'll take it. Not that I have much choice.
ICEY enters the clock tower. A place once rich with science. ICEY, to her surprise, that this room is much like the forest from earlier. Everything is fine.
All of these enemies can grab you, so this fight's a little annoying. Not too bad, though.
Another familiar scene. ICEY easily soars to the exit.
Yeah, this is the boss that has only one health bar, Idion. So I like to say hard fight lel. This guy did actually kill me once. I guess it's because his lasers do a lot of damage. But that's it. Hard fight lel. Cut off his arms and then his head. Pretty savage, actually. Oh, man. Had so many things happening on screen, it started to lag a little. That's usually not a problem. But it was that time. Yeah, this is Judas's lair, the clock tower. He has his illusory ability to create illusions, I don't know how else to say it, that aren't actually there, and they look like areas we've already been to. You can see you get a damage buff the more hits in a combo you do. The limit is 99. This is the door you can enter just a little bit early. It's like one of the only skips this game has. There is perhaps another one, depending on what you would consider a skip, but it's actually completely intended. It's just going through a door that not everyone notices. Yeah, see there, he hit me while I was charging the crystal attack. So I didn't get it off, didn't do any damage.
Another floor climb.
Yeah, this is the room with the other quote-unquote skip. That door in the ceiling right there. What? Okay.
ICEY has finally reached the top floor and is confronted by another enemy.
Okay, this character is called Trinity. You can either kill her or not kill her. It takes several minutes to not kill her.
ICEY killed Trinity.
If you don't kill her, the boss in the next room won't fight you.
One less enemy that could prevent her from finishing
It's
her
really
mission.
quite interesting.
ICEY continues forward.
It's one of the things that the narrator really tells you to do is to kill her. He really gets mad if you don't. This is the boss that can kill you in a speedrun. This boss is really not free at all. Yeah, when he says most fierce enemy ICEY has ever met, he is not kidding. Okay, good. The crystals actually hit him. Most of the time they don't. I don't know why. This has been a very good fight. Ah. Missed the deadly disc at the end there, but that was not bad at all.
ICEY has finally made it here. It's time to end this. Judas awaits.
Yeah, are you ready? You can actually say no to this if you say it enough times, and then wait when... Yeah, if you say no several times, the narrator will eventually change the options to ICEY is a pig and ICEY is a pig. If you do nothing long enough at that screen, it's one of the game's achievements. Alright, here's Judas. 5 HP bars, but he's still kind of a pushover. You got some lasers and some saw blades to avoid, but you're healed after every phase of the fight, so it's not bad. It really isn't. 5 HP bars to correspond with the number of legs he has. Which also means the fight gets progressively easier the deeper into it you go. You see he's just melting. Time ends on the last hit. Although, I guess time isn't quite going to be right since we had a stream bobble or something. And time.
Judas is finally dead. She accomplished her goal. Dawn begins to break over the city.
And this final narration actually kind of means something.
You are finally free. And what about ICEY? She will wait for her next inspiration. A journey.
A journey just like this one. She will surely appear before you once more. That's the game telling you this isn't the real ending.
ICEY's mission is far from over.
And then we have the fake credits. Leroy Rogers, Shane Dane, those are characters you can hear about if you do some of the alternate stuff, and you see the bosses are in the credits to Howl, Trinity, Gorger, Thor. It says Parker, even though the boss's name is Puck. Yeah. Also, in the achievements, the achievement for entering Ultimopolis before the gates close it refers to Ultimopolis as Emberville. So, probably just a problem translating from the original Chinese, if I was to guess. Yeah, that's the narrator leaving. And our ending. Does Emberville mean something to you? It doesn't to me. Alrighty, that's ICEY. Thanks for having me.